Hello, people from around the universe. I am your host, the Italian Ace, and today I would like to discuss what we can expect from every single Pokemon Scarlet and Violet trailer that we are inevitably going to get from now until the release of the games. But how can we do that? We haven't even gotten the second trailer, I hear you saying. Well, we are going to be looking through all of the trailers that Pokemon has released, starting with Sun and Moon, going all the way to Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now, when I say look at all of these trailers, I'm not actually going to sit here and watch them all with you again. That would take way too long, and I know that because I just did this myself. So instead, I'm going to go over all of the notes that I have for the trailers that I've seen and see if we can come up with some pattern that may give us some indication as to when we can expect trailers, first of all, but also what we can expect from those trailers. I hope you're excited. This was not easy to organize. I mean, it took multiple hours to go through all of these trailers because they've released a lot of them, but I still think I was able to come up with some kind of pattern, and hopefully, with your help as well, we'll be able to look through all of these and be like, okay, this is basically what we can expect from these trailers and also when we can expect to get these trailers. But of course, before we jump into any of that, cue my intro. First, let me tell you about the epic journey I went on to find all of these trailers for this video. I scoured the Pokemon YouTube channel for hours, going back further and further in time, until finally I went back to 2016, and then I worked my way back from there, looking for every single video that could be a trailer for the games. That's a lie, you just looked up the game's name followed by trailer and went from there. I'm sorry, who is that? Why is he get him out of here. What? Hold up. No, you don't, no, get him out of here. Let me talk to the producers. Hey, come here.
Later.
Fine, I get it. Jeez. Alright, apparently that's a friend of the producer, so I can't do anything about him being here. But still, he just had to ruin the illusion, you know? I mean, it would have been so much cooler if I just looked through every single video on the YouTube channel for Pokemon just to give you guys these trailers, but I guess we just can't have nice things, you know? Okay, seriously, let's start analyzing these trailers. And I think one of the more interesting trends that I saw is that they used to do a lot more trailers back in the day. As in, Pokemon Sun and Moon had 15 trailers. Yes, 15 that were released on the Pokemon YouTube channel between the first one in May and the last one in November, right before the games dropped. I mean, that is insane. To put this in perspective, I thought Legends Arceus had a lot of trailers that led up to it, but even that one only clocks in at 13. I mean, only might be a bit of a stretch, but still, Sun and Moon has more? What? Okay, so maybe I'm the only one who found this surprising, but still, if you look at some of the other games, like Sword and Shield that only has 9, or Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl with only 5 trailers on the Pokemon YouTube page, that is insane. Like, they were doing a lot more back in the day. And it's not even just Sun and Moon. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon had 12 trailers. For a sequel, for basically the third version of the game, they had 12 trailers. And these ones were even more congested. They went from August 18th right up to the game's release on November 17th, 2017. Now, to be fair, one of the 12 trailers is actually released after the games dropped, and is one of the ones that I don't really know if I should count it as a trailer or not because it's after the release of the games, but they do technically reveal some of the new Pokemon for the first time on there, so Make of that what you will, I guess. Now, looking at the trailers, there are some definite trends that we can pick up on, especially in terms of the type of trailer that they basically always release at some point for the games. So first off, we have the first trailer, which reveals a new game, and if it's a new generation or a new game like Legends Arceus with just a different set of starters, I guess, they also reveal the starters for the games. I mean, technically so do the other trailers, but I don't know. Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl telling me that Chimchar, Piplup, and Turtwig are the starters isn't really much of a reveal. But if you want to take it as that, then I guess that goes for all of the trailers. The second trailer that they drop is also a very interesting one, because in the case of both Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield, which are the only two games on this list that introduced new generations, they both had basically the same information revealed in them. That information being the cover art legendaries, some of the new characters, usually your rival or maybe the Pokemon Professor or a gym leader or a kahuna or whatever, and they also introduced one of the new gimmicks for that generation. So in the case of Sun and Moon, they had the Rotom Dex, and in the case of Sword and Shield, they had Dynamaxing. What's also interesting here is that for both Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield, these trailers dropped at basically the same time, because the one for Sun and Moon was on June 2nd, 2016, and the one for Sword and Shield was on June 5th, 2019. We then have the third trailer, which is kind of varied, but a general pattern that you can see is that they'll introduce another one of the new features. So for Sword and Shield, this was Gigantamaxing, and for Sun and Moon, it was the Battle Royale. And then they will kind of focus on a specific aspect out of all the information that they give you. So again, Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield, we had those new features. But even Legends Arceus, they had the Noble Pokemon, which I think was the biggest selling point for that one, with also the Wardens being a notable secondary big reveal, I guess, for that trailer. Now, it gets even more varied as we keep going on, mostly because, again, Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon had so many trailers, so they don't really fit in the same pattern, both in terms of when they released and what kind of information they gave out, as something like Sword and Shield, or even Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, or even Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, honestly. So you kind of have to pick and choose and maybe combine a couple of the Sun and Moon trailers to really have the rest of this have some kind of a pattern. But you can still get some valuable information by looking through all of the other trailers that we have left. The one thing I will say, though, is that Legends Arceus has by far, and I mean this literally, by far the most unique trailers. So it's almost in a category of its own, because one of the trailers was the corrupted footage for Hisuian Zoroark and Zoroark. The very next one was the restored footage for Hisuian Zoroark and Zoroark. The one after that was the official reveal for Hisuian Zoroark and Zoroark. So they have some very interesting trailers, like two of them just being cute animations for the Hisuian Voltorb form that we got. So yeah, I don't really know where you want to fit them, but they're kind of their own thing. But for the other games, at some point, they all reveal the main cast of characters, so Rival, Pokemon Professor, some of the gym leaders, probably the champion, and definitely the evil team. They also reveal a bunch of new Pokemon kind of interspersed throughout, maybe some of the more popular ones. Like, I mean, obviously the first trailers have their starters, but in Sun and Moon there was a trailer where Mimikyu was one of the highlighted Pokemon, the Tapus, the pseudo-legendaries. So they do have specific Pokemon that kind of get a bit more spotlight by having them appear in one of the trailers. They also reveal a lot of the new mechanics in these trailers. So Z-moves appeared, I think, multiple times in the remaining Sun and Moon trailers. Gigantamaxing and Dynamaxing and their effects also appeared in Sword and Shield trailers. And we just had a bunch of the new stuff kind of show up here and there. I guess as an incentive for you to buy the new games, because it's like, oh look, it's not just a new region, there's also a completely new way of battling that's being introduced. One thing that I do just want to kind of put out there real quick is that some of these trailers, are really, really great to look back on, because I remember when I first watched them, when they first dropped, and there's so much nostalgia with some of them. Like when they revealed Mimikyu for the first time, my heart was just so happy. When they revealed the best Pokemon ever, or his first stage evolution, but I kind of put them all together, in Scorbunny, like, that was so fire. Pun both intended and unintended. Like, I think it's 1 minute and 9 seconds into the first Sword and Shield trailer. Yes, I looked this up to make sure to tell you guys. And they have the first frame of Scorbunny on screen. It's so good. You just see him running up that wheel, and his feet are leaving fiery footprints behind. Like, oh, that line is so great. But anyway, I just wanted to put out the fact that Pokemon does have some pretty good marketing, which, I mean, comes as no surprise with them being such an incredibly successful franchise. But still, it's nice to see some of the things that they do to kind of get you hyped even before the game's dropped. And now I have one more trend to point out before we move on to, I guess, predicting the schedule for these trailers. And that is the evolution for the starters. Now, as for the second stage evolution, Sword and Shield never had a video based on them. Like, they didn't have anything dedicated to them. It seemed like it wasn't really a big thing for them, and they just kind of left them there to be discovered by us, I suppose. Not only that, but they didn't even reveal officially the final stage evolution of the starters until after the games dropped. Which, why? I mean, why? Again, this is the other trailer that I'm not really sure whether or not I should count it as a trailer because the games were out. But it technically revealed new features / Pokemon that if you didn't play through the games, you might not know about. So, I don't know. I just find those trailers kind of baffling, honestly. And also a little worrisome. Because there's a chance we won't get the starter reveals at all. As in, we're not going to see their final evolution until the games come out, or more likely, someone leaks them the week before when people are trying to get their hands on them. So, yeah, that kind of sucks, because knowing they're going to get leaked anyway, I'd rather Pokemon actually put out a full trailer for them. But I guess we'll wait and see what they do for this game. Not all hope is lost, however, because for both Legends Arceus and especially Sun and Moon, the starters were revealed before the games dropped, and they made a big deal about this. I mean, in Legends Arceus, they did just kind of show the shadows of them, and it was a bit late because we already had the leaks for the Hisuian starters, but that trailer did still drop a couple days before the games came out, so it still counts, okay? They tried their best. It's just hopefully they learned their lesson and they know that the games are going to get leaked beforehand. So if they're going to do this kind of a reveal, they push it up 1 week so it's not spoiled before it even comes out. But for Sun and Moon, they had a trailer for both the second stage and the final stage evolution of the starters. The only thing is, those trailers were very, very late in the game. And I don't mean the actual game. I mean the metaphorical game of trailers being released for the games. Okay, that last sentence might not have made any sense. So what I meant to say is that they released these trailers very late in the schedule, because even for the second stage evolutions, they did not have their trailers drop until barely a month before, on October 4th, 2016. Which is crazy because, I mean, can you imagine? It's not even the final stage evolutions, but the second stage evolutions aren't officially revealed until October 4th? I mean, it definitely could happen, but to me, I always thought they were revealed so much earlier, but I guess I'm going crazy because apparently it was October 4th. I'm just baffled because I was so sure that they would have revealed these back in June or something. Okay, maybe not June, but August, September, something like that. And because these were revealed so late, the final stage evolutions were revealed only 3 weeks afterwards? What? Again, I must have been going crazy during that year because I could have sworn there was much more separation between the second stage evolutions being revealed and the final stage evolutions being revealed, and also much more separation between the second stage evolutions being revealed and the games actually coming out. But the dates on YouTube say that I am completely wrong. I guess I might be getting confused with some of the leaks, but I thought those were only for the final stage evolution, so I really don't know, but let's just move on and talk about when we can expect these trailers to drop for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So almost always, it seems like between the end of May and the beginning of June, we get the second trailer, which does mean that, as most people have already speculated, we are about to get some Pokemon Scarlet and Violet news very, very soon. One thing I will say though is that unlike the way they used to do it in the Sun and Moon era, I'm pretty sure, unless I'm also wrong on this, these will almost for sure be dropping with a Pokemon Presents, so it's not going to be just Scarlet and Violet news, I don't think, but it will be mixed with something else. Now, some of the smaller trailers, they might drop just by themselves, but I think the second trailer, being as big as it is almost always, will be part of a Pokemon Presents. And in the second trailer, we can basically know exactly what we're gonna get, because both Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield had the cover art legendaries, some of the main characters, and one of the new gimmicks for the generation introduced in this trailer. Which means that Scarlet and Violet will most likely have the cover art legendaries, some of the main characters, and one of the new gimmicks that we're gonna get for Gen 9. Also, just looking at the dates for the Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield ones, I would bet on us getting this trailer anywhere between June 1st and June 8th. So mark your calendars, I guess, for that 7-8 day period, because I think that's when they're dropping, but I could be very wrong. Now that I've said this, we're gonna get the new trailer in July for some reason, and it's gonna have the starter evolutions, and the cover art legendaries will be revealed in the last trailer before the game drops. I don't know, I mean, with my luck, it could happen. It would make no sense because the cover art legendaries have to be revealed pretty soon because they're on the cover, but with my luck, I could see it happening, I will also say that looking at both Sword and Shield and Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl and Legends Arceus, we can probably expect another trailer to be dropping in July and then a fourth one in August. We could get even one more in that July to August window, but I'm not super sure. And again, it gets kind of difficult to really tell when you factor in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, because those games just started dropping trailers every 2 weeks, basically. And that's something they haven't done since, so I would be more confident in saying one per month, with maybe a couple months having 2 trailers as we get closer to the release of the games. Also, coming somewhere between the 3rd and 5th trailer, I would venture a guess and say that we're gonna get probably the reveal of the evil team, and maybe some of the gym leaders, and probably the Pokemon Professor and the champion of the region. But it's not certain by any means. However, it is very likely. So, in those middle trailers, let's call them, do expect a reveal for some of the important cast of characters for the game. One thing that I would like to point out is that the trailer that they drop for the games in August almost always has the reveal of the new regional forms. And that goes for Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield, and Legends Arceus. So I guess if you're looking forward to new regional forms, which, I mean, let's be honest, who here isn't, August is the month to keep an eye out for, because that will probably be when they reveal the first of the new regional variants for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I think the last thing I have to say about the trailers is that for all of us hoping / expecting the starter evolutions to be revealed in one of these trailers, it's probably not happening anytime soon, and it might not happen at all, which does mean we're gonna have a lot of leaks still to come before we finally find out what the starters really look like. So just keep an eye out on things. Don't believe everyone's leaks, obviously. And if you really do want to have a tentative date for the reveal of the starter evolutions, I think beginning of October could very well be when they reveal the second stage evolutions, with probably beginning of November, maybe the week before, ideally a week and a half before, so the game hasn't been completely leaked yet, having the reveal of the final stage evolution for the starters. At the same time, keep in mind that the starters' evolutions could just not be revealed until the game comes out, because in Sword and Shield, the starters did not have their second stage evolutions revealed at all, in terms of having a specific video dedicated to them, and the final stage evolutions were only revealed like almost a month after the games came out. So in terms of the starter evolutions, I would just be careful and not have expectations set too high in terms of us getting them anytime soon. And lastly, I do want to mention the very small chance that they go the Legends Arceus route with some of these trailers, thus giving us just some random animation for maybe one of the new regional variants or new Pokemon in the game, which are fun but don't really give you any new information on the games. So do also keep in mind that there is a possibility that some of the trailers will not reveal anything new. Although I guess you could say that those don't even count as trailers to begin with, so I mean, maybe they do always reveal something new, it's just that they're gonna have non-trailer promotional videos leading up to the games. But that is it for us here today. I will actually link the Google Sheets with all of the different Pokemon trailer notes that I have somewhere in the description. So if you want to take a look at that and get a better idea of what exactly they reveal in all of these trailers, go ahead and do so. Also, if you pick up on some new pattern that I didn't pick up on, or maybe I didn't think was as clear, do let me know in the comments and we'll try to figure out even more potential information that will be revealed for the upcoming trailers. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I am super excited for these games to release later this year, and I cannot wait for a new trailer to drop for them. And if you're feeling the same way, then I do recommend subscribing, as I'm going to be covering all of the trailers and information that has to do with these games as it gets revealed. Regardless, I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you all in the next video. But until then, remember to follow the way of the Ace. See ya!